Good morning, everybody, and welcome on in to a little bit of a different video today, as we are joined by the wonderful Hylian Bricks for us to discuss, well, fashionably late, I think is the word, Age of Imprisonment, the latest Zelda spin-off, and for us to have a little bit of a discussion about a game that, I don't know, am I speaking for you if I say we weren't excited about?
A game that was certainly expected. That's the word.
Was it though? I feel like that's its defining quality, is that no one needed this.
No one needed this, and we saw it coming from a mile away.
Did you? Okay, well, maybe this was just a you thing. Anyway, I did not see this coming. I was like, surely there's no way they're going to do another spin off based off flashbacks that have less substance to them than Breath of the Wild's.
Secret Stone and Prison War, Demon King.
Yeah, no, exactly. I suppose before we should get too deep into this, I should also explain that we're going to be drawing some figures from the game because despite some maybe mixed opinions, I think both of us have that little bit of an itch. And there were some characters that I liked. We'll talk about those later. So we're going to be drawing those on screen and I'm going to be showing them off to you as we go through. But yeah, we're going to have a nice little chat about the game, what we thought of it. But I suppose to start off with, we really should sort of specify how we came into this, because although both of us have left underwhelmed, neither of us were like ready to hate on this. This was not like a premeditated stance, was it?
No, not at all. Love Age Calamity again. I think Age Calamity put again, and especially talking in Lego Zelda terms, So we love Age of Calamity. Hate the story all you want of it being non-canon. It was a really good story, and you cannot complain that it gave us a lot of stuff that we loved, like Link eating the rock roast, more cutscenes with the champions, gave us more of those lovable characters for Tears Kingdom.
And that's absolutely the case. I mean, I definitely was disappointed that it wasn't canon to start with AOC. However, like, it has grown on me so much. I think it helps that the game's fun. It helps that you come into AOC loving the champions and other characters. And to be honest, that game only strengthens it. It can be as non-canon as it wants, but those cutscenes are still just to die for, really. And it really nails that like war aesthetic. It feels so much more like a war than the Secret Stone and stuff that we'll get into, despite that one actually being a war and Age of Calamity only feeling like a sort of a losing battle. It just suits it so much better to me. But no, I loved AOC. We love Breath of the Wild, we both love, but I think we both say that, I mean, I've gone backwards and forwards on the records with saying that the Era of the Wild games to me are just a one big game, but I think generally speaking we prefer Tears of the Kingdom, don't we?
Ooh, as a game, yes.
Yeah,
Story, definitely Breath of the Wild, but as a game, Tears Kingdom for sure.
Yeah, I tend to view them as one package these days, but it's not like we came into AOI with the expectation that this was going to fix a story that we thought was broken or anything. Like, we were pretty happy with it.
Yeah, we were happy. Again, it's just very interesting because didn't what's his name? I don't know. God, I forgot his name. Wow. Guy with the fresh cut that always appears in Nintendo X the lane. Aonuma, thank you. Thank you.
Aonuma.
Yeah, forgetting about Aonuma, how special I am, right? Aonuma, I believe he mentioned in the interview that he was done, that Tears of the Kingdom was the complete, like, peak of this universe and world. So when you come out with this game that takes place in the same world, it's just, like, very, okay,
I was not asking for this at all. I know there was a bunch of people out there that like wanted to know more, but like, I mean, now that we've seen the game, looking back, does it actually feel like we got anything more? I mean, like, obviously yes, but not in a way that like made me care. Like, if this didn't exist, I don't feel like I was missing anything.
I agree. It doesn't really. Of course, there's a lot of new stuff that we will get into, but
yeah, we'll talk about the story.
Generally speaking, it doesn't really impact. There's no giant like, whoa, it's no ancient hero reveal. It's no who's the identity of the Zonai or the eighth heroine. It's not that level of surprise. Again, it's blew our expectations, I'd say.
Yeah,
but nothing crazy.
I mean, and you could argue AOC didn't do this either, but like AOC did it in like a different way, that it fleshed out those relationships that we already had. It narrated the initial stages of the calamity that then gave us a hope version. Now, I feel like we took the wrong lesson from AOC, because we were like, make it canon, because we wanted to see the depressing ending worked out. And now I like me some Terraco, although we'll talk about how maybe I've soured a little bit on Terraco since the initial launch as well. But yeah, I would know. It was like, we told them, hey, we wanted a canon ending for Breath of the Wild because we wanted to experience that sort of uphill battle. And then they gave us the canon ending for a game that would have benefited more from being the fanficky one where they could have brought the chaos in.
Yeah, literally. I mean, so much potential. Give us Yona as a playable character. I'm not gonna say Purah because we know where that would go, but
I mean,
Taro,
but
playable
even
Taro.
or
Come
just the
on.
champions, like the descendants again. Like genuinely, this roster leaves so much to be desired. But again, that's treading on future topics. So no, neither of us wanted to hate this. However, and there are some positives that we're going to talk about as well. But to save us from sort of slandering ourselves, should we? Should I show you one of these figures and then we'll jump into the story?
Yes, I'm excited to see who you've created first.
Oh, I've got a nice mix for us. So, let's start with someone completely unimportant. We had that poster revealed a couple of days before launch, with sort of two new sort of Hylian characters. To be honest, at the time, I kind of just thought they were like background slop, like just complete like generic people. But turns out both of them ended up playable. And we're gonna lead with Typhon.
Oh, okay. That hairpiece is actually kind of. I really I like that hairpiece.
Yeah,
I
it was
like it.
it was a weird choice for him because like you could have gone like Widow's Peak, and obviously the viewers are seeing the comparison now. But I like using different ones. So like using this crazy one for him for like the windswept look was a lot of fun as well. And I always love getting to use the new skin tones as well, just because they add so much more variety to like figure lineup.
Which skin tone is that
I
again?
think it's just the normal nougat one, like in the middle, like kind of a middle of the range one.
The one they used for Woo in Jurassic World, right?
I think so. Yeah, I
That's
depends on which iteration, isn't it? But yeah, I think so.
nice. I like it.
But do you want to know the weirdest thing about revisiting the Zonai drawing style in Lego? I guess.
The detail.
Yeah. I mean, and also like all of the stylings are subtly different. You're going to see this a lot because most of the characters I've drawn are in like Zonai outfits. But like this one here for Typhon isn't actually the same as the guards we see in the flashbacks in Tears of the Kingdom because he doesn't wear the coloured strip on the right. He wears it around the waist like it's a tied hoodie.
Right. Right. I'm actually noticing that because I'm comparing that to the archaic tunic.
Mm.
That's actually really good. That's this is actually the first time I noticed that. Wow.
Yeah, and then also there's the debate about the color as well because we've chosen white because I wanted to keep it consistent across the other Zono figures that we draw, and I had to go back to Wave 8. And again, I'm actually going to show you guys Typhon and his compatriot in the battle pack because I think we'll talk about that later. But I think white was the correct choice, despite it kind of bordering on like tan in a lot of shots. But we don't have like that kind of cream color, so there's not much we can really do about that, is there?
Not a lot.
No, and he's rounded out with his
Lego
shield and
colors
sword.
and Zelda.
Oh, 100%. The colors do not match. We're going to have this conversation later on with someone else as well. And it's not who you think, I guarantee it.
Oh. Yeah, it's gonna be the least expected watch.
Yeah. I haven't told him what's coming.
I'm actually curious.
Okay, let's talk story then. I'll let you start with this one.
Okay, story. So in the beginning of The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, we see Link, Zelda, going underneath Hyrule Castle, and there's Ganoncorpse. He awakens, yada yada, Secret Stone, Demon King, and the Master Sword shatters against the Demon King's gloom. And that same piece that went and slightly cut off, like a not cut off. What's the word?
Like shaved, it grazed his cheek, isn't it?
Yeah, graces his cheek. That piece just happened to travel along with Zelda to the past. It landed in the depths. How? I don't know, but it happened to be there.
I mean, this
And
is
when it
when we
happened to
start
be
to
there,
stretch the logic of canon. Like they can call this game canon all they like, but we know that they like shoved that in to get what they wanted.
they were like, let's think of something to make this, make sense. We need Link to be playable, but he can't be in the game, huh? So I guess that's the big excuse for the biggest mystery of this game, which was kind of not a mystery since the beginning, but oh well.
Yeah.
Anyways, to speed things up, that thing, Master Sword in the past, that is what awakens the mysterious or night construct, which is this game's version of a playable Link. No, it's not Link, and no, it is not Fi.
No, although it is effectively just Link. It's Link's will in a sword fragment. Like it's totally just link standard. It they cannot phrase it any other way to make me think otherwise.
Any other way. So basically, the story is just from that point onward, it follows Tears of the Kingdom's memories in order, except one, but we'll get that
And
later on.
And I think this
Yeah.
is where I first want to jump in and just discuss the like atrocious pacing. Like I don't know about you, but what part of the imprisoning war were you excited to see? Because for me, it was 100% the earlier stages, right? Like leading up to Ganondorf getting a stone.
Yeah, that was something that we want to see more of. I mean, I'm satisfied with what we saw. Now, do I wish it was more extended? Yes. What I want to see most in this game is something that happens later on in the story, is possibly more Ganondorf. And when I say more Ganondorf, I don't mean Ganondorf backstory or motivation.
Yeah.
It's just, I guess, like another counterattack. Because yeah, Rauru and his faction goes over to counterattack Ganondorf, but I want to see Ganondorf trying to attack them as
Yeah,
well.
they lay
That
out
back and
this
forth.
like whole map thing, don't they? Where they're like claim back territories, but it's quite literally he takes all the territory, they take the territory back, he takes it back, and it's over, and then they win. Like there's no sneak or like complexity there. It's just back, forward, back, done.
Yeah, basically.
But
Which is interesting because Age Calamity had the Blood Moon and stuff. Like that could have been an excuse to,
they could have done so much with it, but yeah, that was a moot point. But for me, what was missing was those early stages. A lot of the Chamberlain's memories describe stuff like training with Minoru, or Rauru and Sonya going out on their like shrine sealing quest, or Rauru going like hunting. I just feel like if you want to build bonds between like Zelda and Rauru, what seems fun to me is, and this is what AOC did really really well, is those initial missions were like just day-to-day life, except for something dangerous happens. It is unfathomable to me that we didn't just have like extra missions before Ganondorf. I know it would have been pace killer, but just like where it's like, oh, Roru's like, haha, come out with me because I'm stressed and we need to go hunting, and then oh no, they get trapped, and like not having playable Sonya as well. Again, I'm jumping to the character section. It just the whole first two missions, and after two missions, we were on the Molduga attack, and I was just like, this is crazy madness. Like it is breakneck pace with the sort of in between missions taken up by the most frivolous of stuff, and they even skip my favorite memory, which is the gazebo.
I have to agree with you there. I mean, the example of Age Calamity, I really like moments like where Zelda sees Terraco for the first time and Link just grabs him. The champion just that slice of life is something that I really very evidently enjoy in my work, and every little aspect of Legend of Zelda. I like to see the characters just being the characters and not focusing on the plot sometimes. I like that slowness. Age of Calamity did it perfectly. And since you mentioned Age of Calamity, I gotta mention its DLC, its horrible DLC, Guardian of Remembrance, because they basically
DLC.
pulled off the same thing. Link teaching Zelda how to use the Master Cycle, they repeated that, but it was just Lanalia saying, "Hey Zelda, remember when when Rauru snuck out and we followed him?" That was cute. That was really cute. I'm not gonna deny it, but I kind of want to see more of it.
Well, we could have, and when they announced this is what I was assuming was going to be the missions, because, like, quite frankly, once the actual war starts, we know nothing. There's no scenarios or anything to build off there, and obviously there's so much character assassination. Again, we'll get to this for the characters. Not many of them were handled exactly what I would call well, or have particular arcs, and the people we were excited to see coming in, for me, Rauru, Sonya, Minoru, the ones we actually had an attachment to, considering nobody else we know is here, they were really cool to see because I was already attached, but they weren't developed in the same way the champions were in AOC. And what I actually wanted to say was the initial mention, right? What a difference in opening between opening on like a monster attack and opening on two guys in a field have been corrupted by a shade. Let's slap without any sort of pretense for why or how. It just felt so forced and clunky and not at all.
It was forced.
Yeah.
I just love how. First of all, that whole scene of the shades. I like it because yes, it was a piece of lore mentioned in Tears of the Kingdom of Rauru and Rauru and Sonya, killing off demons and stuff. But I like that they mentioned it and they showed the shrine. But this part here, I guess it was the tutorial portion of how to control Zelda. Uh, Frankly, that's what it was.
Hmm.
But it's so weird because Raru's just like all of a sudden, you know what? I trust you. Here's this sword. Kill them for me. And he's like in a pickle. They're like, hey, I need you to help me here. So use your light powers. Use the sword. Figure out yourself. Hee hee.
You know, quite frankly, I'm thinking of it on the spot, but I think my preferred opening would have been still play out the cutscene as whatever. But when Zelda falls down the hole, just first mission is playable Raru, playable. I don't know. I'm in my head canon. This is playable Sonya, right? I don't care that she dies. Half the cast die by the end of this story anyway, so like moot point. But playable Raru, playable Sonya. Your first mission is them clearing out normal enemies. I would get rid of the shades, but them doing their pilgrimage. The mission ends with them making a shrine of light, and then Zelda just falls from the sky behind them, and then they're like, "Whoa, who are you?" And then your next mission can still be the training with Kino and Typhon at the castle or whatever. But just it would be more action. It would be like a cold open, like the other one. It could have been a bigger scale instead of some schmucks in a clearing.
Yeah, interesting. Again, I guess this is something that the story does suffer from, and it is Zelda being the main character because AOC, at least that first mission is from Link's point of view, so we understand him. Zelda, the first mission in AY is Zelda's point of view, but then literally later on in the story, she becomes quite useless.
She
If I'm
gets
being honest, Raru
effectively
is the one that steals the story.
like we love it. I love it when she's the main character. She's so interesting, especially this reason. And like she was billed as top player, but like genuinely, she gets completely lost about halfway through.
Just exist for the moral support because Waru's wife is dead, so
and
you
actually,
need
unfortunately,
that family connection.
And unfortunately, that's when the story gets better as well, which I hate because Sonya, one of my favorite characters in the era, like literally dies, and then the narrative gets better once she's gone.
Okay, now that you mentioned Sonya dying, did it sting more? Did it sting you more than it did in Tears of the Kingdom?
No, but that's because I was so confused about how the first part of this story was handled. If I'm telling you, if she'd been playable or had more screen time, the fact that she had less screen time effectively because they didn't have gazebo memory. I mean, I don't know if that's actually true. No, it didn't. I know it worked for you, but it did not work for me at all.
I liked it because again, since it was more extended, you did feel that connection. Like, okay, you met her from Zelda's point of view, of course. Something that I do not like, though, that I found incredibly funny, is that they removed Ganondorf's silly smile. I think it's funnier that they removed it because they noticed how big of a distraction it was. Like, let's
Yeah.
just cut it off and abruptly just cut to this. And this is actually another thing I gotta mention. The rendering of the cutscenes. I know we don't know the difference between 60 FPS and 30. At least that's me and you.
I don't
We do
see
know,
it, yeah.
but
I know there's
we
a
don't
physical
care.
difference, but
As long as
I
game's
physically
fun.
can't notice it. I genuinely don't notice anything above like 25.
As long as the game is fun, I
Yeah.
don't care. But I can't help but notice that the Koei Tecmo team has a very different style of animation, cinematography from the Tears of the Kingdom animation department.
Yeah.
Because that whole Ganondorf transformed to Demon King, they cut a lot of it, like seconds from it.
And
And
actually,
I
I
get it because
didn't.
they want it to be
Yeah.
fast paced.
We wouldn't have noticed if they hadn't have ripped half the cutscenes. AOC did not do that.
At all. Just do your recreations or do your Lanalia storytelling. Now, I
Yeah.
do understand why they did the Demon King thing because it is a important thing, but I'll give them credits where credits to do. That Molduga scene, you cannot lie. That was seamless. That transition of cutting between Tears of the Kingdom and Age of Imprisonment cutscenes, that was incredibly seamless.
No, it was done. Well, that's one of the few cases where I can understand them repeating the memory because it is such a turning point. But it was so jarring just seeing them play out like Memory 2 or like Memory 11 just like randomly throughout the story. I'm like, oh, could you not have given us like a new angle or like a different version of this? Like, this did not need to be this way.
Yeah.
Include
Memory 11.
your new characters, especially given the way the roster is as well. Like, the fact that half the roster just don't even get cutscene time.
Thank you. Yeah, Memory 11. That right there is a great example. Again, and to be fair, in Tears of the Kingdom, that memory was essentially just Ganondorf, like, "Hey, sages, I'm threatening you with my epic thirst trap I made many years ago. Hee hee, I'm gonna take over the world." That's what it was, and I'll give them props in this game because it they changed the order of that cutscene, Secret Stone cutscene,
Demon
because
King?
the sages, Demon King,
Secret
Stone,
Stone?
it's so stupid, I swear. But yeah, that cutscene, they changed the order of it, and it benefited the story. So I'll give them props there,
No,
and it
no.
made more sense.
100%.
Now,
I have no problem with them changing that cutscene around. I also, no, I still would have preferred a new iteration of it.
yeah, a new iteration where he doesn't say, uh, he says something. How is it? Something and her allies. I do not like that he refers to her allies because he's referring to Zelda instead of like his allies being Raru's
Hers.
faction,
And again, this isn't anything
resistance.
against Zelda. Like we like her as a character.
No,
It's just, nah, yeah, I don't know.
she's
Anyway,
not the main character. It's Raru.
yeah, and I think that that's the place for me that Sonya's death did work better was the Raru mission beforehand because it's like you just know. However, I will say that mission would have been better if it was like if Ganondorf was on the field. Like there's no reason that he could not have been there doing like faux help and then disappear halfway through, you know, like, but it was that like him fighting his way back to the castle. I was like, oh, it's going down, isn't it? Um, but yeah,
I agree with you there. I'm assuming he's just, and to be fair, this is something that we were going to talk about later on, or perhaps even now, I guess. Ganondorf ain't playable. Ganondorf ain't playable, so I'm pretty sure he was not included in that mission for that one reason. They probably don't have the rigs of
yeah.
animation for fight styles for him yet,
I feel like yeah.
which is
Should
a
I show you another
shame.
figure and we can talk about like the second half of the story later on, like when we talk about like the lore and stuff as well. Because I feel like we're itching to talk about this roster.
Yes, we need to.
Okay, so obviously we had Typhon. So are you ready to be introduced by generic Hylian number 2?
Derek Hylian number 2, let's go.
So we have Kino, not to be convolved by
No, we
Kino
know.
grinds. So
Once again,
no, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
amazing figure. This figure, I like the Karen hair modified.
Yeah, it's a brand
Uh,
new head mold. I think he's the only figure I drew in this batch with a new piece, which is kind of crazy given his background, but the style just can't really do much else with it. I'm also a hypocrite because he did end up being one of
yeah,
my favorites in the new roster. However, I should mention both of us haven't actually played the game. We've just watched the cutscenes and a load of gameplay. So we're not qualified for any of this. However, we do have opinions because nerds and opinions, that's like the only thing we have. So probably should have qualified that like half an hour ago. But Chemo, yeah, no.
I like it. He is a cool character. I like the minifigure. Also, how was it to redraw that torso? You did tell me a little backstory on that beforehand.
It was the legs actually. It was the sort of waist piece like teal kind of like ornamentation that is like on all the Zonai guards, Raru, Zelda's dress, Sonya's dress, and then also all of the elemental sets. I'm so sick of drawing that. Like I've drawn that so many times and it's so hard because the figure legs are always posed at like janky points. So I did just completely oversimplify it this time, which is why it looks kind of dodgy.
It is accurate because we only do that with Lego CMFs, not with set figures.
Yeah, no, I know. He probably shouldn't even have leg printing, but to be honest, none of these guys are going in sets because these are just for fun, really. It's just I only drew the ones I was interested in. Although there is one more interaction. Would you like to see the alternate reality where Lego Zelda Wave 8 comes out late enough that Age of Imprisonment has inspired one of our battle packs?
Alright, let's see it.
So we're looking at
Let's see
Z085, which is
it.
the
I love that
Zonine
deck.
Construct pack. This was obviously done back in Wave 8 as part of the Tears of the Kingdom one, and originally came with two like absolute like generic like little guys.
I remember that, yes.
And so basically, I've
Classic.
reskinned it by replacing the two generic ones with our Quinoa and Typhon, very similar to what we did back in Wave 2 with the Age of Calamity ones.
Oh,
So it
yeah.
is no longer a battle pack when you do this. I mean, it like technically is like they're named characters, but also you could still class it as a battle pack. But I just think it's cool to be able to present like variants like this just through like specific things. So there's the original for you as well, just to compare.
I do really like that because one, it's I don't know, it feels yes, the original one was a battle pack, so I guess it's more of a proper set, like actual battle pack. But there's something about that feels more proper, like a proper set. Because when you combine it with Sonya's Tea Time, it feels like a proper Lego set in a way.
Yeah,
But the
it's
thing is,
definitely given it new life.
seeing Queen on the Tears of Kingdom logo is kind of sketch. That does not sit well with me for some reason.
It's the same as seeing like Terracotta on like the Breath of the Wild sets and so on as well, though, isn't it? It's weird, but I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
this was always one of the least popular of the Wave 8 sets. I had people tell me that this is a stupid battle pack as well, like multiple times, and I'm like, okay, that's fine, but like I don't really care. But it really has given a new life to me. Especially, I think it helps. Again, we're going to talk about these characters. I really do think it's given it sort of like a new pizzazz, and maybe it's not a battle pack anymore. But to be fair, you could still have these torsos and legs, and then just put on different heads and stuff, and you could like still have a decent like roster.
Yeah, there's that, and then you also have Ancient Furry that you can always use. In the set 2 that has the same printing. W.
It's definitely more interesting now anyway, I think is what I'll settle on. But we've been beating around this bush for too long. Let's talk characters. Let's talk this roster. And I think mostly the new additions is where I want to start.
Sure thing. Kick it off.
Okay, no joke, right? I just completely blanked on the roster outside of the two we've just been talking about.
I guess you can start there.
Yeah, because like, who is it?
Actually, no. Hold up. This is a better way to start. Actually, pause. Please include that. Do not cut it out. That's very funny. Us lagging there.
Well, no, yeah, I'm gonna leave a line in about me.
This speaks about the roster. This speaks about it in volumes.
Yeah.
Because literally, let me just put this very blunt out there. They're nobodies. They're nobodies.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna defend the two Hylians, but those 4 race picks, like the 2 extra Zoras, 2 Gorons, 2 Gerudo, and 2 Rito. Like what?
It is so stupid. And this is, I guess, like we said later, the biggest problem this game had was its lack of source material, because if it were non-canon, it would have benefited from that extra playable roster. And again, I get it. People are very content with this story because it is canon. But let me ask you this. You want a fun game or a story? Let me just ask you that.
I don't even think it has to be that binary, but like I 100% see your point. It's just so Warriors games have never like where's the like not even like where's the if they're going to do 3 from each race, why aren't the last 4 of the races like joke characters or something, right? Like we had Hestu and the Great Fairies in the last one.
Great Fairies, gotta love them.
Yeah.
They have not been doubled upset.
Oh no. I realize that we're probably missing out, because I bet if you play the side content, like they're a little bit more characterized, like the backup Gorons and backup Zoras and so on. But
yeah.
I don't think I could name a single one. And I'm not including the 4 champions in this. They fare slightly better.
It's interesting because this is the thing, right? There's the main story quests, which is cutscenes and all that. And basically, during that whole story, there is Calamo, very great character. We'll talk about him in a few.
Oh, we will.
And the mysterious construct. They go on their own journey, their own separate journey. And during the separate journey, they meet certain people and help them throughout their quests. One of these people is Quino, the other is Typhlin, and you can see how we repeat. They basically gather an army, and this army is the army that fight at the end of the game while the King and the Sages are underneath Hyrule Castle. I mean, not Hyrule Castle.
Where Hyrule Castle will be.
They fight.
But it is really cool. Like, in general, I really like the idea of them gathering an army. It's just, I wouldn't want to play as half of them. I mean, and again, should we talk about the exceptions? Like, specifically the 2 Hylians, just because, like, they're gathered in the same way. However, they are those 2. You could argue one of the Gorons is as well, but they're much more present in the story.
Yeah, these 2, I guess that they have their intro. The Gerudo one, because there's 2 Gerudo. Again, there's 2 of each race. Razona, something I believe is her name. She had her own cutscene where she went to recruit Raru in Artie's name, not in Artie's name, but doing it Artie. Yeah. She had her little screen time. The Gorons.
Braston comes into like training at the beginning or something, doesn't he? With his little hat.
The round bucket guy.
Yeah, the bucket hat like Goron. He like burst into the training mission.
Yeah, again, maybe my opinions would change if I were to play the game myself, but from as an outsider talking, I do not see the appeal
Like
with most of these
they
characters
are
now. They
completely
could look
random.
cool, naturally.
I
Just
again, I wouldn't
random.
have mounted one random per race because, like, as we're about to find out, I'm going to ask you your favorite characters in a minute. That people often attach to like lesser known characters and so on. You know, like, but generally speaking, all of them have to have a scene, right? Like, when we first saw the pictures of Quino and Typhon, I did not care like one bit about them. But because they had an opening scene near the game, I don't know, or like any form of like dialogue or interaction, like they were mini bosses and so on, I was like, oh, actually, these guys are kind of cool. They have personalities, and then you get like attached because okay, yeah. So who of the new roster we're ignoring? Because obviously Rara is my favorite character in the game, right? Like just flat
Of
out.
course.
But who on the new roster is your favorite?
Okay.
We've ignored the sages so far, but you can pick a sage if you want
Yeah,
to.
okay, I'm gonna ignore the sages. Just I'll expect the sages in a bit.
Yeah, they were blank slates before this, so they
Okay.
almost count as new characters, but
Literally. I'd say. Ooh, this is actually kind of hard. I kind of don't care about no one. That's the problem. That's the overly problem. Again, I don't care about them. And the second thing is their thing where okay, the Gerudo had their scenes, the Highlands had their scenes, the Rito had their scenes, but then the Zora basically did not have like just like one line of dialogue in the actual story. The Gorons, not. That's hard, but I'll skip to the next thing. Sages, I really love Rafika. Rafika, he is Rivali, but if Rivali were mature, like older,
and this
I,
is
I
why I
like
love
that.
Rivali. But like that's fine. I'll let you have. You can have
Eh,
Rafika. I'll take Rivali instead.
I love Rivali more definitely, but Rafika, the out of the stages, my favorite. Agrison, uh, mm, he was cool. That's all I can say. I don't really have anything special to say. Kia, on the other hand, I have a lot to say about Kia. What is that horn? First of all,
Yeah, what is the
she,
horn?
what is the horn about? She looks like the Master Cycle Zero. She looks like the Master Zero. Especially since it's tan. It's like it looks tan, and it's a weird shape.
Oh,
So it's
I
new
have I have
technology
a
there.
question for you. Is how does it go in the helmet? In the Zora helm?
Oh,
Where does it
that's true because you
where does
can't
it
see her
go?
mouth. You can
Yeah.
see her mouth underneath them,
Because it's not
but
like you
the
can like
horn, like
fix the elephant trunk into the right angle to make that work. You know, like how does that work?
actually, more interesting question. Now that you say that, the old Zora King, he had to be very small because I mean, to fit that helmet on, he wasn't the size of Dorfin. But that's a whole other side thing. Yeah, yeah, I've seen her gameplay. She's definitely one of the best characters, I guess, in terms of gameplay wise.
Who did you main
Artie, I
in?
really loved her.
Who did you main in AOC?
Amifa was one of them. Rome very later on.
Oh,
I guess
Rome.
Link you could say, but aside from Link, I would say Mifa.
Okay, yeah, because obviously it was Link main, but Rome was my main character. So because his moveset just it spoke to me, which
Crazy good.
which is a shame because like obviously like we like the character of Rome in an idea, but we don't like who he is as a person, which makes it much harder for you to like main
Exactly.
him, if you know what I mean. Like it's like oh, at the same time it's like oh well, you weren't a great person, were you? Which is why I am so pleased that my standaway new takeaway is definitely Kino. I know there's like not much like dialogue, but like that playstyle and then also just like the character work that we did get, definitely my favorite from the game for sure.
Yeah. What other characters are there's a few side characters that are not playable. Lanalia. What are your thoughts on Lanalia?
She exists. I thought she was a child in the first trailer.
I remember that. You know what? I would say she definitely surpassed what I thought she was going to be like boring or annoying. She is annoying, but it's kind of like that wholesome annoying.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
she grew on me enough that I have drawn her, so you'll see her momentarily.
oh, Yes.
But at the same time, I was like,
Yeah,
she's just here. Like, she needed to be there. We needed a Chamberlain. It's like one of the few lore points they had to build off.
and I really enjoy her as the narrator in the loading screen. I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I could take it or leave it personally, but yeah, no, I'm fine with her. We'll dodge the Calmo shaped bullet until the lore section, I think.
Yeah, we can take the whole Calmo thing later on.
I'll be honest, I'm still thinking about Kino.
Whoa.
I think it helps he has a
Yeah.
pretty looking face, like.
You're being weird, okay? Okay, look at okay. We've discussed this before. Quino is just what face works for him? 'Cause again, I'm
Oh,
trying to
you
build
mean in
purist,
figure
but no
building? I
face works
mean,
for him.
okay, yeah. I think we were talking about
Like you
different
said,
things.
he does have a
He's a pretty face.
he what Octane, you're confusing me. Chill. How did this become? Oh my god.
The freckles.
Oh,
The problem is we could not find a figure face that had freckles because obviously with him being my new favorite main, obviously I wanted to draw him and I wanted to get like a real figure together. I never said why he was my favorite, but
Okay, let's move on. Send me the figure.
okay. So next section up we have for Lalania, who's been how do you say it? Lanalia, Lanalia.
Linalia.
Lunalia. Okay, we're going with Lunalia. Gotcha. Well,
As for the figure,
she was
Ace
difficult.
is very. Yeah, I can. Yeah, she does look kind of difficult to translate in Lego. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, the hair is one
But
problem.
the hair,
The face is another problem. Everything's a problem with her, including this is the figure I was talking about with the colors. Her colors just do not exist. You need like a raspberry. It's like not real.
okay, yeah, because you used magenta.
And bright pink.
Okay, this is an interesting question. Do you think Linalia would be one of those characters similar to Sonya, where the dress works better for her?
No, because we decided to use legs for Sonya in the end, didn't we? But I got a dress print for her for sitting down. We almost never see Lunalia sat down, and she's on a battlefield. So I was like, legs. So I did the Totka Zelda approach. So I did the same thing. So legs. I did toy with the dress. I did also toy with using a brick to make her shorter. But I was like, she's a fully grown woman and she's not a child. So as much as I thought she was in the first trailer, I was like, why do they have like a 5-year-old? Is that their daughter?
Their daughter? No, they don't know. Raru and Sonya's child would forever stay a mystery.
Yeah, no.
To us people.
But
overall,
she was,
I guess you did the best what you could.
Yeah, like it's not great.
You did the best what you could, and colors again, Lego color, because red is too red. Dark red, I guess.
I tried lavenders and stuff.
What do you think about
nothing matches. Like I didn't want her to have Sonya's outfit. Like I didn't want it to be the same because she's not. She's like.
To be fair, yeah.
I kind of vibe with the pink just because it like almost reminds me of like Lego Clone Troopers where they've all got like a different stripe, different like color down them across the like armor now,
right?
Which is kind of funny to me. I don't enjoy it from like a army building Lalania perspective, but just because I think it's funny. Yeah, no, she's not my favorite. I like to draw. I was pleased to have the chance to draw her. I was excited to draw her, but I don't care really how it turned out. It's not the best. It's not the worst. It's just kind of very much a standard figure. Oh wait, that doesn't quite look like their actor kind of vibe. Yeah, it works.
You tried your best. Anyways,
lore time then.
Lore time. The deep dive. The holy grail.
I was so worried that Calamo was going to be the Deku. I was ready to throw my hands up in the air.
It's interesting because, okay, if he actually were to be the Deku Tree, it would make sense from the story perspective that he was kind of, I guess you'd say, quote unquote, with the Master Sword, right? But then, like at the same time, when you consider past Legend of Zelda games, it kind of like destroys the character almost.
Yeah, it genuinely like it would ruin the character for me. I'm not going to be under dramatic. Like I would not be able to look at my Lego Deku Tree the same again knowing it was that sassy little guy. So I'm so glad that I now get to like the character of Calmo just because he's not the Deku Tree. Because I actually really did like his dynamic with the construct.
Was a great character.
Yeah.
It was really fun. He turns out to be the ancient tree stump,
which is actually really cool.
And I
really
guess
like that.
The more interesting thing is Zelda Notes called it from a mile away, which is very cool.
Zelda Notes knew. They
It's similar to how
100% knew going into making it though. Like,
I knew.
yeah.
No, they knew for sure they knew. I mean, I did see an interview with Patricia Somerset that she said that was a whole different recording session, the Zelda Notes thing.
Yeah, but it was probably done
It was not
afterwards.
AI, surprisingly. But yeah.
She has made like
um,
bank out this character. She's been on the payroll for like a decade at this point. I mean, they don't get paid well enough to make actual
at this
bank,
point,
but like she is just. I did not expect her to get so much return rolls out of this. I don't think she did either.
oh, I don't think she did either. But yeah, Palamo, the construct, great characters lore wise. Um, Another piece of lore that we can mention is the imprisoning chamber, because that existed way before. It wasn't just like a natural thing. It was something that Raru and Sonia with Minoru
Didn't they say like
built.
Minoru had to go prepare it or something?
Yeah, but then when you see the flashback of them doing that, Sonia's still there. That's the interesting thing. They're all there.
Huh. Okay, that's weird. I don't pretend to understand the
Yeah,
fall of the
it is
Zonai
very weird.
stuff. I don't know why they made it complicated for themselves and didn't just have a
Oh,
Zonai
oh, thank you
civilization.
for mentioning that. We now know what killed the Zonai. What made the Zonai went to extinction. We now
It
know what it
it's
is,
just such a
and it
shoulder
is a
shrug.
clanker.
It's just the clankers, yeah. It was
It
such a
is the
shoulder shrug.
clankers.
I couldn't. I just don't care. It was such a random plot point to begin with. Also, I think this is where I go on my little Terraco thing. They ruined the concept of Terraco. It was neat the first time, but then he just became a bit irritating, and now they've basically just repeated the exact same thing. It's just instead of an egg battle, it's the
The dark and the
clankers.
light
Yeah,
version.
yeah, light construct or whatever they are called. I don't remember, but man, I just do not care that those constructs kill the zone. I mean, in concept, I think it's cool that they were killed by like robots and stuff. You know, like that makes sense to me. I like that, but like, I just didn't need to know.
Same.
I think why were they not alive in the first place? That's a Tears of the Kingdom problem, not a thing problem. But I don't know. It just
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you there. I do like how the forbidden constructs were the extinction of the Zonai. That was actually really nice. I personally really enjoyed that little detail there. It contrasts very nicely with not contrast. It fits very well with the thematics of what happened 10,000 years ago, as in like history repeats itself essentially. I kind of really enjoyed that. Now, as for the forbidden construct, there's something else I gotta mention, and I think we should mention that he looks awfully close to Age of Calamity Ganon.
yeah.
Uh,
They must be
yeah,
implying something there.
Koei Tecmo loves their Goku Calamity Ganon Ganon things. they really do enjoy him. Uh, yeah, I mean that final battle I guess was interesting because I guess the whole point of that was to not end on a low point because I guess
Yeah,
you never do the final blow on Ganondorf, so that just it cuts.
yeah.
And what's
And you
interesting to me is
lose
that
technically, and like,
it's supposed to
yeah,
happen in the same time, like both, like the mysterious construct, night construct. He delivers the final blow same time Raru seals Ganondorf, which is, I mean,
yeah.
or, but it's interesting. Now, what I do really appreciate about this game is the fact that their excuse was a valid excuse to excuse the construct not
Yeah,
existing
because otherwise it's
in
just a Koei
Hiroshima.
OC, and I've never been a fan of the Koei OCs. Like, I think back to like Lana.
Not even Suga,
Oh, I don't
not
know.
even
Okay,
Suga.
maybe I'm just a hypocrite. I wasn't a fan of Lana and Sia, and I wasn't a fan of. In the end, I wasn't a fan of Terraco,
No. Terraco at the main base game, yes. DLC, no.
and I can't really say like I
but
like the Clanker. I think the Clanker is funny in response to Calmo, but like not.
no, they pair really good together.
They pair
I love how
amazingly
he
together. It's
like
one of the strongest parts of the writing of the game. However, like, do I care about like
fist bumps.
Link at home? No, I
He
don't.
fist bumps, and I really like the Raw quote, like, "Will you have this battle?" I'm like,
That
I love that.
actually, I mean, this is going on to favorites again, right? But that scene where Rauru is talking to the construct outside the Forbidden Temple, I love Rauru so much. Like
Secret Stones.
he's so cool, and he just deliberates, and he's wise, and he's like ponderous. We haven't had a character like that in the series, maybe ever, if not for a long time. He's just noble and cool, and seeing him do and have more scenes, and that one with the construct, probably bar one was my favorite, like lore sections. Just more Raru, just I can eat that.
Raru. Raru again. He was definitely the best part of the game. A very fun character to play as. Play, you know, just the story of Raru. He's not. He has depth. You know. He's thinking. He's aware that he is the last of his kind. Too. The whole strategizing of him is very smart.
He's constantly thinking.
And again, he thinks that the whole thing of him pondering of if he was selfish, not selfish. What's the word? Because Ganondorf said that he did not use the power he was given. When he killed Sonya, he literally pondered over that. Like, am I actually bad? And he considered, like, what if I were to give these people secret stones? Wouldn't I be the same as him?
Yeah.
That was deep. I like that.
Yeah. What was your favorite lore reveal from the game? It can be a small thing, because I said there's one more for me that I really liked.
Okay, lore detail. There's plenty of them.
You can give me a couple. I'm not like picky. It's just for me, I can only really think of one more.
I'm not gonna say Calamo because again, we don't really. I guess it's cool. We love Calamo the character, but as in the ancient tree stump, we kind of don't care about that tree. So
I know I kind of vibe with it, because it's just like, here's a landmark that you've walked past 100 times, and now there's a story behind it. I can get behind that.
It's interesting, and I really do like that. Like it's just a random thing that just happens to exist, and now we have a reason for it to exist.
But I think that's what we wanted more of in Tears of the Kingdom. So I'm down for that.
You know what? Valid.
That being said, do I even want to consider this game canon? Not really. But anyway, give me some favorite lore. We'll get into that.
Okay, favorite lore. No,
I'm the strongest.
you know what I would say is the whole. Oh no. Okay, you know what? Now that you brought that up, we're gonna talk about that.
No. Is it not your favorite lore detail? I want your favorite lore detail, unless the strongest archfiend is it.
No. It's not the strongest archfiend. The strongest archfiend is not my favorite lore detail. My favorite lore detail has to be just the way Ganondorf betrayed the Gerudo, just like that. I kind of messed with that. He's just, I guess you can say that's more of a story thing, but I really like how he just how 20 minutes overlapped.
Yeah, like as in like story lore. They were like the same thing, you know. I'll give it to you.
Yeah,
I think it's a cool detail.
I like it because it was quick, and again Ganondorf in this game, even if he does not have a motivation like other previous versions of Ganondorf, he is based, as in like he does not care. He is evil, and that's it. And just how that transitions very nicely with him going to the castle. That memory, that whole Molduga sequence played out beautiful.
That's a good pick. So for me, it's seeing how the seized construct got seized.
Right.
I didn't realize I needed that.
Yeah.
But like, I was like, that's kind of cool. I like that. I can vibe with that. Just like seeing it get like overtaken.
How did it get to the depths? Actually, it wasn't the depths technically. Technically, it wasn't the depths. How did it get to the
damaged state that could then be seized in the present day?
Yeah.
Anyway, seeing it getting damaged and resemble the seized construct, only for it to later get possessed, was really cool. I really like that. Yeah. No, that was my favorite lore detail. I know you are eager to talk about then our lovely archfiends, but firstly, I have a figure to show you, and secondly, I feel like we should do the game some justice and give it some positives as well. But firstly, you ready for another figure?
Yes.
Okay, we were talking about the knight a lot, so I feel like it's time to put the vessel of light in, or the knight construct.
The vessel of light. It's loading. Oh. That combination of the hood and mask, is that actually possible?
I haven't physically tested it, but I think so. It wouldn't be legal, but I think it would work. You know, like that kind of vibe.
Okay, I see. Because that's what I was originally thinking.
I mean,
but
how much do you want to know? Because I have the parts around the room. I could like test it right now for you if you want.
Do it.
Okay, I can report that it does not go on, so it is not a legal connection.
Wah,
It won't
wah.
even go on. Like I can just about push it. Oh, okay. I mean, it's staying on, but it is very much stressing the parts. Like I can see the hood bending outwards, so like this is not a great idea.
Oh, yeah.
But it's technically on there, so it just depends how desperate you are. But I think for this project, I would rather use existing parts than make a brand new mold. Obviously, I know we know some wonderfully talented people that would prefer a custom mold, but clearly I was only feeling the love for quinoa this time.
Yeah, clearly. However, I do got to give you props for this. I really like that you gave him the gray hood. Now, the actual, knight's thing that Raru gives him, the scarf and stuff, it looked very cool. Don't get me wrong, but this look, like the decay, just out of their look, I really liked it, and it had more screen time.
I'll be completely honest, I forgot that he got a proper scarf.
Wow, you
Um,
forgot. And to be
However,
fair,
no,
the
to be
first
fair,
artwork they
yeah,
gave.
all of the artwork for both him and Calmo are before their knight's outfit. So you'll see later that, spoiler alert, we've got a Calmo as well. He's got a yellow scarf, so instead of the dark blue one.
Well, now that we got that out of the way, you did want to talk about the strongest archfiend, right?
No, 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 positives. Come on, because you know how I feel about the strongest archfiend. Let's
Very strong. But
let's
positives,
get some positives out of the way.
positives. Uh, I really love the main theme. The main theme of the game, I really like it. It reminds me of the reminds me. No, it's very similar, reminiscing to the 2017 E3 Breath of the Wild trailer.
Okay, because I found myself
Um,
generally underwhelmed by the music. I need to have another listen through because the AOC like
it
battle
is.
themes were quite good, but like
Check it out.
I don't know.
Actually, check it out. There's 65 tracks
Really?
that are new, if I'm not
Okay. But like they
mistaken.
didn't even use the
There's a
sludge
playlist on
like
YouTube.
theme. What am I supposed to do if they don't even include the sludge like theme despite him being in the game?
Most of them are remixes. Okay, again, most of them like the Hinox themes,
Like
Talos theme, they were used from AOC. Some honorable mentions, I guess, that we can mention are good.
okay,
Again, like the main theme, that
right.
whole intro segment, I had really nice. Anything that had like that Zonai chanting in it, I really enjoyed.
See, what I loved about AOC's soundtrack is the high energy stuff. I can appreciate slow music and powerful like actual music, but generally what I'm looking for is stuff that I can work to. You know, like high energy, fast tracks with good rhythms and beats with this kind of game. And I
Yeah, because
haven't.
most of them
Most of them are a bit wimpy,
were,
and I really like Tears of the
yeah,
Kingdom
most of them were
soundtrack.
wimpy remixes that almost sounded a bit too identical to the original theme, with just
Yeah,
like a little extra instruments.
but I'm glad you
In
like
terms of
the score.
bombastic stuff, now.
Anyway, sorry, this is supposed to be a positive section. So music good. What else?
Good cutscenes, amazing, like 3 hours of cutscenes. Raru, of course, amazing.
Raru. Oh, and Sonya. I just wish she was playable, but Sonya was also great. Minoru was
Yeah,
also
I
good.
would say
She was
this.
here
Um, I said I was not going to say this, but I guess the game actually being canon, I give them props for you know
trying.
accomplishing it and making it work.
Yeah.
It was nice, and that definitely surpassed our
I
expectations.
will give them props as well.
In that
They
is
surpassed
good.
my expectations in how much I would end up caring about the four champions. Do I care? Like, sorry, the four new sages. Do I still care about them or know anything about them? No, not really. But do I care about them more than I thought that I would going into this experience? Yes.
Again, that's another thing we can mention. I give them props for actually caring about the sages. Agerston, Kia, Rafika, and Artie.
I'm never gonna remember Artie's
Giving
name.
them unmasked models.
Yeah.
What do you say?
I'm never gonna remember Artie's name. But yeah.
They 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 actually molded new faces for each and one of them, because if you go to Tears of the Kingdom deleted files, or even the Masterworks art book, they did not have faces. They did have one, but like these are actually specifically new made for these characters, which was
Yeah.
very fun.
Yeah, no, there's a lot that's done good. By no means is it a bad game. It's just I think I didn't want it in the first place, which obviously hurts it a lot. But also I think this thing missed a lot of opportunities, specifically with what I was looking for. There was just yeah, I don't know, just a flawed idea in Dents. I think I would have preferred just another
Eh,
cross
yeah,
series Warriors.
like I said, this game, I've not said here, but I've said it before. I think this game would have benefited a lot if it was just like an Age of Calamity, just full on party, like literally.
Yeah, like
Just
Era of the
like
Wild
the original
party
Hyrule
or
Warriors.
something.
Yeah,
Or if you're
Like
that desperate of
there's
making
so much.
it
Like
like
I wanted a playable
semi-canon,
pass. Like come on.
yeah. I don't know. I didn't get enough out of it. I mean, obviously we gained some cool things. We gained a Calmo, we gained a Quino, we gained more Raru, which is always a win. But like, I don't know. It's just a bit rough getting here, wasn't it?
And I would say this to another positive thing. Performance on the Switch 2,
Mm.
it was peak
And the
according
gameplay
to every
actually looks
review.
pretty good as well, although the maps look a little stale.
It
But the
looks
gameplay
pretty
itself
good,
looks
yeah.
fun. I'm sure you would have a good time if,
And
well, maybe will you pick it up when you get a Switch 2? Because neither of us are anti-Switch 2. It's just we're waiting for like a good game, like a mainline game.
definitely it's one of my first things, and now that you mentioned that for Switch 2, first actual aside from DK Bonanza, Switch 2 game that is big and not Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart 8, no, Mario Kart
Oh,
World.
Mario Kart World, yeah.
Aside from Mario Kart World, Bonanza,
It's crazy that it's
it's
the
another
third
big Nintendo
first
game.
party Switch title. That's actually madness.
Yeah. Actually, doesn't Kirby Air Riders come out this week?
Yeah, I know, but that's like fourth then, and then obviously Metroid before the end of the year as well. So
See.
I don't think the
Right.
Pikmin 4 update
It was
counts.
good.
Yeah.
The game had a lot of positives.
Okay, one more figure, and then is it time? Do you reckon?
Yep, it is time.
Okay, right. So obviously we just had the Knight construct. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to send 3 images actually. So next up we have Calmo to go with his bud. And we have 2 different versions because originally I was going to draw him like my Macaw and do as like a molded piece. However, I ended up switching back to Brick Bill.
That's an interesting mold. There's just like everything in one mold.
Yeah, it's a 1 mold piece. I did it for Macaw. It's like a trophy statue, but it's a little over detailed and it kind of looks janky. Although it doesn't look awful next to a minifigure. But obviously, I then did it in the Decutry style, which
It
I'm
looks
actually.
awful, just not labelfied.
Yeah, the Decutry style works considerably better for him actually, which I was surprised by. But
It does that tooth piece. That tooth piece looks really good on him.
yeah, the tooth
scarf.
really works. The face in green as the plant piece also works, and he just looks great next to the Knight construct as well. Also, I believe with the exception of his sword, this is actually like viable. Like you could definitely do this, and as long as you did like a custom decal for the face, like this is a figure that you could actually make because that leaf piece does. Sorry, the lily pad does come in green, plain green.
Oh, it does?
Yeah,
Nice.
it's an art palette, but it's been done in like Ninjago cities and other like friend sets in green. So this is a viable figure,
I see.
which is really cool. I'm glad that it's like a
That's
viable
gonna be
Korok.
nice.
So I think that's something I'll look into alongside the other big one, if I can ever be bothered to do custom decals for the Korok faces. Anyway, it is time.
And the different colors.
It is time
It is
to
time.
talk about
Conversation you've been waiting for.
my least favorite thing in the game. You called it right. Like we were watching it through. You got there before me, and you went, "He's gonna hate this."
And indeed you did.
I couldn't believe
hated it,
how
and
much
I
I
hated
hated
it
it. But no, but you actually kind of like the design. But for me, it's
Yeah,
bad
I
on.
kinda like it.
It's bad on so many levels because 1, I don't like the design, and that's subjective. 2, why he talking? And you know what makes it worse is it's the fact that it goes from being one of the coolest Tears of the Kingdom bosses, one of the
strongest archers.
goes from being,
Little fledglings.
and then he goes like, "Wah!"
A massacre of aura has
Thank
to
you.
be studied.
Because that was one of the most hype moments. 1, the new music sucks for him actually, but Colgera was one of
It's
the
so-
coolest
it
bosses
does-
we've had in decades. It had so much atmosphere and just charm and coolness, and it was so big and it was so cool. And they went, no, we can't put that in our game because it flies. We're going to make him a goblin creature that also flies. Welcome to the stage where Optin complains about
and
Grimgara.
talked. Grimgara, the latest
I am-
boss in the Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment.
I am the
He
strongest
is one of
archfiend.
4
Blah, 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 blah.
archfiends. As as some of you could have guessed, Age of Imprisonment had the bosses return, but in different forms.
Which makes no sense.
In
because
Age of Calamity, they did modify.
no, it makes no sense
They don't
because
make
all of
sense
the
at all,
blights
because-
appeared. If the Hinoxes, Taluses, and Moldugas can appear, then, and also go back even further to the original Hyrule Warriors. You had Goma, you had humanoid Volga. If we had to have forms, I would have taken humanoid Colgera Warrior Man over any of these. But there was no reason that Marbled Goma and Queen Gibdo specifically are like so a warrior's boss coded, like unbelievably so. Muktarok
Yeah,
too.
I mean, with Goma, I can definitely see it's just blow up the legs. Muktarok, just use water hydrants.
And also like the
attacks.
ducking in and out, like that's a dodge attack, that's fine. Queen Gibdo just charges. She's literally just any strong enemy. Like it's like the same thing. And instead they and I almost understand Colgera if they didn't have the Gleeok fights.
If they didn't have the Star Fox sections,
which
the Rito could fly. I mean,
yeah, it's almost as if
Hello.
Colgera could just float above the ground like other enemies do. You know, like the Aracuda.
The Aracuda.
But instead,
these bosses.
we got an abomination. I hate the Grim prefix. It makes them sound like YA novel things. I know, maybe I'm getting snobby, but I didn't like the change from Malice to Gloom. I don't like this from nothing to Grimgera. Because then the others sound stupid as well. Because what was it? Grim Goma, Grim Tarok, Grim Gibdo? Is that it? Grimdo?
Grim Gibdo, yeah.
I hate it. Grimgera is the stupidest name for. It's not. And you like. Can you defend the design? Because I hate how it looks. Like compared to Colgera, which is one of the coolest designs we've seen in years, it looks so ugly.
They massacred him. I would say they massacred everyone. And you may say that. I would say this by, I guess, coolness. Grimtarok looks cooler, but there's a charm about Muktarok just being a little guy.
No, that's it. Grimtarok looks cooler, but I like Muktarok because of him being a silly little guy that can also turn into a vicious shark.
Oh, and there's another thing now you say that. They're all kind of humanoid. They're all sentient.
I know, but like
they talk.
But not in the cool way,
they have
like
second
Volga.
forms. Everyone has second forms except Grimgera. They have second forms as in once you defeat because they have elemental gauges. Once you defeat that and their actual enemy gauge, do the weak point attack, their designs slightly alter. For Grimgera, I'm pretty sure there is one, but that I can recall of no.
I don't know. I can't bring myself to go back and
he's
look
like
at it.
he's like a giant tentacle brain almost. That's the best way I can describe Grimtarok. And he turns to a emo guy, mummified guy.
I've seen that. You've shown me that before.
I want to know I want to know the correlation between like a shark dude to a humanoid mummy sludge guy. It's very interesting.
They're humanoid, but they're not humanoid enough to just go, oh, these are just souped up Gerudo mates that Ganondorf had, and they're his like generals. Because also, you're telling me that Ganondorf wouldn't work with a sentient octopus as a general? Of course he would.
That is the funny sentence. Again, and now that you say that, that's another thing. Grim Gibdo talking with Ganondorf, like, let me kill him for you. I'll do it there. Even Ganondorf does not care in that cutscene. Like, play that cutscene right now if you want to. Pause the video. Actually,
I've seen the video. I don't want to look at them.
The feature.
I don't want to look at them again.
No, listen to the viewers. The viewers must see this. He literally just says, "Do as you must" or whatever. Like Ganondorf does not care.
He does not care.
He does not care, and that is so. It gives.
I'll give them one pass on that though, because it would have been an insane cutscene if Queen Gibdo just stood there, as Queen Gibdo, right? Queen Gibdo stands there, and Ganondorf just goes, go kill him, and then this giant bug creature does a trample and like runs off. Like that would have been insane.
No, that would have been really
but it would have been in the best way possible. I think
now.
The best way...
Ranking the Grims, yeah?
Ranking the Grims, okay. From best to worst or worst to best?
Best to worst.
Best to worst.
And give your reasonings.
Okay, because you know who's at the bottom. It's like so predictable. Grim Tarok is my favourite.
No, I definitely don't.
And the only reason that Grim Turok
Okay.
is my favorite is because it kept that same Muk Turok energy, because he quite literally goes around the screen like cackling like a little gremlin. He's like or something. I remember in his introduction he's like or something like that.
He's just splashing sludge all over the place.
Second best is Grim Goma, followed by Grim Gibdo, and then Grim Turok. No, sorry, Grim Gera. I can't even keep them apart. Grim Gera in the last place. But I have to say, right, that actually might be very similar to my... No, my boss ranking is completely inverted. Never mind. I have to say, when you look at that lineup that they're presented within the depths, specifically, you know, like when the sages are about to fight off against the reincarnated bases in the Demon King's army, right? And the amount of power that lineup has and how cool they look. And then just replace it with these 4 idiots. Also, there should be a 5th one,
And
right?
they all talk and have no brains.
There should be a 5th one, right?
Yeah, they're supposed to be the one for Minoru, but
Yeah.
I guess since that's kind of not a section in AOI, I guess it's.
They
not
could have had a
counted.
5th one. They repeat Grimgara 3 times. I cannot believe they used the Stormwind Dark as a battle bus. Anyway, as besides the point. Your ranking.
That's a good comparison.
Your ranking, please, sir.
My ranking. Okay.
From best to
definitely
worst.
at the top will be best to worst. Okay. I actually kind of like Grim Goma. Grim Gibdo.
See what I mean?
actually kinda
That's
like Grim
impossible.
Gibdo.
The names are stupid.
They are stupid. They are very stupid.
Really,
but
really
Grim Gibdo,
stupid.
I like it because I give them props for keeping the same face, because it's almost more believable than the others that evolved into the Queen Gibdo.
Yeah.
It's more believable for sure.
I think it's the easiest
just
to
a
look
giant
at of
moth.
the designs. It's just I prefer the other ones.
Yeah, I guess that's another reason. It looks cool.
Actually, no, I take
For
that back.
boys, I guess. Yeah,
Goma's the easiest for me to look at because Goma kind of just looks like a Lionel, marbled rock roast Lionel. So
yeah.
To me, that's the easiest to look at. But okay, I respect Gibdo at the top. Who's next?
Next, I would say Grim Turok, because again, even if he's a human emo guy, he looks funny.
Funny look.
Again, his design is pretty. His design again, it is cool. I would put Grim Goma next, because Grim Goma, really, I don't hate him. The actual dialogue he had was very minimum.
He has one
and very
line.
basic. It was just like a threat, and the threat, I liked it because it reminded me of the nightmares in Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
So again, I would give him generally the big. If everyone's gonna have the biggest pass, he has the biggest pass because he was not annoying. He had the least screen time out of all of them.
Shouldn't it be she just based on all the other Gomas?
He has a man voice.
That's so weird.
He has a man voice.
Okay, because I've been headcanoning Marbled Goma as a she for like 2 years, so that's fun. Anyway,
it's a he apparently.
Okay, well,
and of course, last of all is the strongest Archfiend. Again, just because that generation.
I'm the strongest Archfiend. It's so bad. Genuinely, why does it speak?
Like Arkin said, I like his design. But again, just the reason, why does he talk? I'll let everyone, literally, I'll leave anyone slide, but just why do they talk? What does that add to the story?
And honestly,
Nothing.
You can kind of defend the Grim Turok and the Grim Gera. I cannot do it. The Grim Gera design, but only if on its own. As soon as you compare it to the superior Kogera, like, it doesn't matter anymore if it's a good or okay design because it's not special. We had something amazing.
Oh. Compared to definitely not at all.
Kogera blew everything away. It was one of the first things from the game I built turned into real life, right? It had such a fast turnaround. The music was obsessively played because it was so good. It was not a hard fight, but it's such an incredible encounter. And then to download it to
it's one of the most memorable things.
I'm the strongest Archfiend. And you absolutely called it.
Canonically,
you said to me, you're going to hate it. And then I didn't just hate looking at it, but I hated hearing it. As our final drawing for the day, would you like to see my rendition of Grimgara?
See, Grim Girl, I'm excited to see what parts you used. You only showed me like a little bit of it,
I'll be
but not
completely
everything.
honest with you because I only did this for the memes because I had no interest in doing my least favorite character. I just thought it'd be funny. So I've not exactly put much effort in
Oh,
here.
yes, thank you for sending that. It's turning into a sticker. Trust me, I'm turning into a sticker, like an emote in the server and stuff, because this is too funny. Grimgera, if anyone at this point of the video, please blast Grimgera slander in the comments.
Grimgera
Please do.
slander.
Oh my god. Oh, what? What am I looking at?
I don't know.
What am I looking at?
It's
That
like a
is so
dragon.
bad.
It's like a dragonfly.
It's so bad. What am I looking at? Oh,
Like, but what was I
calm down.
But what was I supposed to do? I had to use the hairpiece.
I kind of don't blame you. I kind of don't blame you because he just has dreads. He's a nonchalant dread.
Look at the head as well, with like the dodgy hair on it.
The eyes just like very compressed together. Gotta love that detail.
Massive mouth, and then just like the jankiest like legs and arms, and this complete cube of a torso.
Okay, if you were to build them in the scale of real Colgera, how do you think that would even be possible? Like, mention a piece or two.
You would have to like do like a head like I did for Maz Kosher or something. It would never stand up. I do also think he's smaller than Colgera. I'll be honest with you. I think he's smaller than Colgera.
He is smaller.
Yeah.
He is smaller. He is for sure. 100%.
So I don't know if I'd ever. I mean, I'm never building him. I think, ironically, he may be viable. Like with a couple of alterations, he is viable like this. But you already got me to produce my meme Rallus, so I don't think I'm going to be adding Grimgera. Truly, genuinely, my least favorite thing they've added to this series since. I genuinely don't think I've ever hated something in this series this much, because like I was thinking back and I'm like, well, no, Skyward Sword I love. There's not something I hate like this in the Wild games. I think I'll talk about Twilight Princess, but I'm like, no, but I like Uku and how funny Uku is. I genuinely don't think there's been anything.
It's cursed.
I genuinely don't think I've ever disliked something in this series this much. It's because of it's bad on its own, but it's worse because of the contrast to Colgera, one of my favorite bosses in recent memory.
Yeah, I think that's the issue. We would have accepted it if it beforehand, but do you hate it more than the term Secret Stone Demon King?
Yeah, but that's just funny. Most of this game I can just shrug my shoulders to. If I don't like it, I don't really care, right? Like if I like it, I like it. Like Keynote and Kalmar and stuff like that, right? And the story decisions and seeing Rara, I can get behind. Everything else is just kind of apathy, right? Like I don't care, right? Like I really am not going to think about this. I'm not going to consider it canon. I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
You know what? I gotta say this.
But Grimgera alone makes me wish this wasn't canon. Anyway, go on. You got to appreciate.
I got the. Why does he have a stinger at the bottom? Why does he have a stinger?
I promise I did look at reference images, but I don't know.
No, he does not have them, but I do like it. It makes your build funnier. Mm-hmm. I know you said you do not plan on building this, but please, if you're gonna build it ever for a meme, I want this exact picture you sent. I want that.
You want me to recreate this? Huh. I'll look into it.
Exactly how that.
If I can do it for less than a tenner, I'll do it. But I have Demon Dragon parts on the way.
And you're gonna put it along with. Yeah, Demon Dragon. That's exciting.
I'm really looking forward to having like a proper GSI setup with Demon Dragon. Like I'd retired. This is completely off track. You know I had my GSI build, right? Like I had Great Skyland.
Yeah.
I've taken that off convention rotation, but it gets to come back as part of Demon Dragon stand.
Actually, are you gonna build the Temple of Time still?
Yeah. It's gonna be all 3 islands. So not only does GSI get to come back, it gets a completely new life as a stand. Because the problem with GSI was that it wasn't great for shows because nothing on it's interactive, and when everything else is interactive, they're like, "What does this one do?" But nope, it's gonna be a stand now. So that's going to be crazy. Although it's going to be a pain to transport to shows with 3 islands and a dragon. So who knows how many it's going to go to, but it's still
especially with this giant castle.
Well, the giant castle, and then obviously I've announced that Lookout's coming as well. So I've got too much to carry. I'm doomed. But anyway, back to Grimgera and
It's
Age of
the
Imprisonment.
lifestyle.
It's the lifestyle.
It's the lifestyle. So okay, your final verdict on Age of Imprisonment.
I just, I don't know. I'm not going to think about it that much. I'm not like offended by it. There's some cool stuff. As I said, I really do like Camo Quino. Some of the dialogue, seeing Rara and Sonya more. Although there's just so many decisions that I'm just like, why? Like I don't usually get this way with games specifically because like I never felt this way. Like even with Tears of the Kingdom, I just don't really feel like there are missed opportunities, sure, but there's nothing really that I'm like, why didn't you do this? With this, there's just every turn. It's like, why did we not get this mission? Why is Sonya not playable? Why did you focus so much over here? Why is the pacing so weird? Why was this not a mission? And why the Archfiends exist? Like it's weird. Not much about the game like tarnishes my time with Tears of the Kingdom, mostly because I won't think about it. Although to me, the Archfiends 100% do. Like knowing that they become that and that they consider this canon is dreadful to me. I really don't like that. I really don't like that at all. And it's funny because a lot of like the first half of Age of Calamity is canon to me, effectively. Like up until the Terrico deviation, it is just canon. And there was so much of that game that was so amazing and it had so much more care. And I think that is the answer. I just don't care. Like, I just don't care. Apart from Grimgera.
I would I would agree with you there wholeheartedly. I really enjoyed it. Again, it's nothing that like groundbreaking, and I guess another big reason why it's not groundbreaking is that we could not play it or do not have a Switch to. Maybe my opinions would change if I were to play it, but based on everything that I've seen, it is good. Just
yeah,
good.
No, it looks like it is a fine and good
good.
game. It's just the decisions made were decisions made.
Questionable.
Yeah. And again, as I said, I'm sure it'll be a delight to play. I'm sure my opinion of it will improve over time, but I don't know. I never needed it to exist. And I kind of just don't care now that it does exist.
I want to make this one final comment so you can start wrapping things up because this seems to be a long video.
Oh, yeah.
I want to compare the Archfiends to one thing that they reminded me of, and it feels very sticky thinking about it. They remind
Where's this going?
Imagine this. It is a very good comparison. Just trust me here, bro. Trust me.
Okay.
So we got Colgera. Colgera is Megamind. Then we got the Archfiends, Megamind, and the Doom Syndicate. That's the best way I could describe them.
Can you make me an edit of that as a meme and I'll put it in the video?
Please do.
No. It's like, can you do it? You're better at finding the images than me. You can put Grimgera on it if you want. It'll take you like 5 seconds.
that Megamind clip I told you?
No, not like the clip, but just like the posters. It's like you versus the guy you told you not to worry about or something, and it's just...
Oh, okay. I'll do it.
That'd be fun.
I'll post teasers of that too.
Hopefully that's on the screen for you guys now. But yeah, thank you for listening to us ramble, guys. Hylian Bricks, thank you for being here. Before I wrap us up any further, would you like to have some time to shill for all you're worth?
What is that?
Would you like some time for some self-promo?
Oh, yes. So we need self-promo, guys. As you know, I'm the Hylian Bricks dude. You should know me by now, hopefully. If you don't, well, I'm Hylian Bricks. A goated guy, I guess. I make Lego Legend of Zelda builds and animations that have good stories, slightly better than Age of Imprisonment, but
worse than Age of
that's
Imprisonment. He loves coming on this channel because he loves coming on this channel because there's no script, which means he gets to just let loose with his ego.
Disasters.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, it means I can say whatever I want, and it's not
so he
that
can tell you to subscribe and then check him out. No, I mean, if you like Lego Zelda stuff, he'll post something every couple of months, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe the biggest separation you'll see is probably like 6 months, but
I know, maybe
something big is gonna happen
if he's working on an animation.
Maybe longer.
But anyway,
maybe. But
thank you for coming and talking. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. Again, we will have this conversation with our teams like 20 more times
Oh,
after this, I believe.
100%. This
Uh,
is not going anywhere. It's always a pleasure to talk
this is
lore
going
with
big.
you. Yeah.
It's big. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. We have no idea how
It's
to wrap
fun
this up.
talking
But
lore.
yeah, let us know what you thought of Age of Imprisonment. Give me a ranking of my drawings down below. Thank you, Hylian Bricks, for your contributions to this.
As always.
And yeah, there'll be links in the description and so on. We get to try that new YouTube feature. But have a wonderful rest of your day, everybody. And we'll see you again soon. I promise I will talk about the Ganondorf set at some point. I promise I'll do that.
Stuff point.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.